Hi, it's Margaret Bowie, interview coach, and today I wanted to give you some tips on how to cope with interview nerves. Firstly, it's normal to get a bit nervous before the interview. After all, it's the job you really want, so I understand it could be a bit daunting. At the same time, if you are someone who gets really nervous before the interview, it's important that you change your mindset around the interview. Before I started working in recruitment, so over 12 years ago, I used to think that the interviewer just wants to catch me out on stuff I don't know. When I started working in recruitment, I've realized that's absolutely not the case. The interviewer wants you to do well. Trust me on that. Every time a person walks in through the door, we are hoping that you are the right person. So just try to remember that. We want you to do well. Also, you might want to start visualizing the interview. So a lot of sports people, athletes, they will visualize successful outcome of the race, for example. You might want to start doing the same with your interview. So maybe before you go to sleep or just when you wake up in the morning, imagine that you're watching a movie of yourself going into the interview room. So imagine you walk into the room, shake their hands, and you answer the question displaying confidence and all the other qualities that you want to portray. It might seem a bit weird when you do it for the first time, but stick with that. I remember I've done it many years ago when I had to do my first presentation at a career event. It was a small event, only 40 or 50 people or so, but I was absolutely petrified. So obviously I was prepared, but I've never spoken in front of 40 to 50 people before. So I started visualizing successful outcome. I just started imagining this movie of myself presenting and people looking really engaged, people taking notes, people asking questions at the end. And it felt quite weird when I've done it for the first time, but I kept doing that a few times. And you know what? It worked really well. Maybe I wasn't quite as confident as I was in my little movie in my head, but it went really well. People were taking notes, people kept asking questions, and they were really engaged. So try visualizing successful outcome of the interview is something that you might want to try. And then think about the questions. So most interviews are actually quite predictable. You will be asked some of the standard questions like tell me about yourself and why do you want to work here and what can you bring to the role. And then you need several accomplishment stories and just several examples to demonstrate that you have the skills and experience that the employer needs. So, you might want to have examples of accomplishments and some problem-solving examples perhaps of leading a team or influencing. So just make sure that you are prepared. It will be hard even for myself to go to an interview right now and to give you these examples to competency-based questions. It takes time, it takes time. That's why it's very important that you spend some time prior to the interview thinking of which examples you're going to use, and then that you practice these examples as well. And finally, try to relax, smile when you walk into the room. Like sometimes we think that, that's my only chance of getting a job. That's my only chance of getting hired. No, this is not your only chance. There will always be other opportunities. And if you think that, well, that's my only chance of getting a job, you're putting way too much pressure on yourself. And that means that you might not perform quite as well during the job interview. So you can only control your performance. There is so much in the interview process that's completely beyond your control. So, sometimes you can give a fantastic interview and still not get the job because there was a last-minute internal candidate or someone else got recommended for the position. So just try not to worry about stuff that's beyond your control. I hope that you found these tips useful, and I'd love to hear what you think about this video, so feel free to leave a comment underneath the video. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you on the next video. Bye for now.